Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzy. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. This is dealer time. This is straight up dealer time. 6:24 live start today. Again, as I should just, maybe instead of apologize, I'll just be on time. That's just an idea. But I'm a little frazzled coming into the studio today. We have a lot to get into. Phillies are over, 20 games over 500. They're now 5 games up on the Braves, who have lost 6 of 10. Oh, what a bunch of bums. Okay. And Alec Boehm leads Major League Baseball in RBIs, 3-run home run yesterday, 5 RBIs in the game. Cody Clemens, Cody Crush. Cody Crush is his name. That's what we're calling him, Cody Crush. And if the Phillies thought we were a little unruly, potentially a little unfair about Spencer Turnbull going into the bullpen, just wait till you send Cody Clemens back down to the minors after this performance. Now, he's got to keep it up for, I'm going to put it out there, a week and a half. I think Trey Turner comes back in a week and a half. That's just, I'm spitballing here, but that's where I think he's coming back, okay? So he's got to keep it up for a week and a half in order to stay up here at the Major League level. Love to have him up here at the Major League level. Especially, other than Cody Clemens, Phillies haven't been able to get a pinch hit other than Cody Clemens this season. That's ridiculous, okay? So I'd love Cody Clemens to stay up here. Phillies get a dominating 11-5 win over the Washington Nationals. Take advantage of opportunities, exclamation points. The Alec Boehm 3-run home run was an exclamation point. The Phillies get the win. 20 games over 500. 5 games up on the Braves. We have historical numbers. The historical numbers with your Philadelphia Phillies continue. We also have to get into the Eagles autism fundraiser over the weekend, which looked beautiful. Looked awesome. We'll go over the numbers that they raised. They, of course, released those numbers. That's incredible. We'll also get into skinny Jordan Davis. If you haven't seen it, it's in the thumbnail of the show. But this came out. I'll just show you right now. This comes out from Capri. At Dubs only 863511. If I would have, it took me a minute. Like I saw the face and I went, oh, it looks like Jordan Davis, but that's not Jordan Davis. No way that's Jordan Davis. That's Jordan Davis. Slimmed down considerably. And this feeds into, no pun intended, that was not a pun. This goes into what we're going to get into today, which is the Eagles depth chart, especially on the defensive side of the football. EJSmithInquirer.com put out his first depth chart ahead of OTAs, ahead of minicamp, if you will. And one of the things that was really interesting was the defensive line and the cornerback positions. And on the defensive line, as you would assume, Jordan Davis is right up there, him and Jalen Carter on the first squad. But I saw this and I went, skinny Jordan Davis. Our friend Jeff Kerr put this out as well. For the people on the podcast, I'm putting up pictures. This is Jordan Davis towards the end of last season. Our friend Jeff Kerr put this out there. And that is that's how I know regular size Jordan Davis. Pretty remarkable. We'll get into all that and more on today's program. We got NBA playoffs we're going to talk about, but we are going to start off with this. Just I'm a little uncomfortable on the show today. So I have this fear of snakes. Okay, well, I shouldn't say fear anymore. I dealt with it. Okay, so we moved into this new home a year ago, a little over a year ago. Oh, wow, almost a year and a half ago, actually. And it's close to a marsh. All right, like our neighbors and us, we are backed up against a marsh. My brother-in-law has a marshy backyard, and he says that they got a creek going through it, and he found a snake in his basement one time. It's a nice finished basement, it's a nice house, and he found a snake in his basement. And I have not liked snakes. I've never liked snakes. It goes back to my childhood. I just don't like snakes. I think it has to do with my huge fandom of Indiana Jones. But anyway, my missus, my lovely missus, she says, hey, I'm going to the store. There's this big bag downstairs in the basement. Would you mind going and getting the big bag in the basement? I said, yeah, baby, I love you so much. So beautiful. Absolutely. That's what I say to my wife when she asks me something. I of course, comply. And you're so beautiful. I love you so much. Oh, absolutely. And I go down to the basement and I grab the bag and I turn. Now, of course, the studio is in the basement. I should probably point that out in case you haven't figured that out. And I turn, and I will say it's a messy basement. So I see something lying in the middle of the floor, and I just think it's a wire to one of my tools. You guys know I just built those floating shelves, and I still have stuff all over the place in that portion of the basement. And I look down, and the wire moves. And I look down, I'm like, that's not a wire, that's a snake. And it's, it was a little snake. Well, it wasn't even little, it was like 2 feet. Garter snake. I think it was an anaconda. I don't know my snakes well. And my wife goes, what? I go, immediately Little Toots wants to come down and see the snake, which I know is a horrible idea because then she'll have nightmares for like at least a month. And at least that's what I thought was going to happen. She still came down. She really wanted to see it, and there was no stopping her. So she saw it, and she started laughing and then giggled and ran away. I think she was mocking me. I think my 4-year-old daughter was mocking me on the snake. But here's where I'm at. If you have a fear, okay, if you have a phobia of something, and I thought I did of snakes, and really up until this point, I really did have a phobia of snakes. And then I moved to the freaking suburbs. And not only did I move to the suburbs, I moved next to Wildlife Kingdom, living next to a marsh where we get foxes and raccoons. We get snakes. But anyway, I not only did all that happen, right? The chipmunks. We have chipmunks, which are adorable. Yeah. So I'm doing the landscaping because I enjoy doing my own yard work, right? And I found like 6 or 7 snakes as I was doing it, cleaning out the flower beds. Now, previously, if I was still City Mark would have screamed and ran like a little girl if I found like a snake in my backyard in the city. But no, in the suburbs, I have now learned to deal with it. So if you have a phobia, here's what I suggest. If it's snakes, maybe it's spiders, I don't know. Whatever you got, just hang out with them for a minute and have to deal with them. The minute you have to deal with them, it's like, well, I can't really be scared little, scared about it anymore. I just got to deal with it. So when I landscaped this year, I kind of got over it. Last year, mowing the lawn, saw some snakes. Freaked out a little bit, but I've gradually gotten better. So for your phobia, just expose yourself to it in an area where you got to deal with it. And that's how you get over it. That's my life advice today. The more you know. There you go. Speaking of baseball, let's get into your Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I just have to check the chat before I move on from that topic real quick. Just want to see how you guys go. Nope, still cool. All right, we're all cool. All right, there we go. Let's talk baseball, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm just going to do the thing. Oh, here's Sean Kilrain. Here we go. Sean Kilrain. Garter snakes are good. They get rid of those rodents, which is a good thing. That's what everybody says to me. But I would just like to get rid of the snakes. My wife's cat likes to get rid of the rodents. Just make sure you check the shape of the head of the nope rope. Okay. Could not handle living near a marsh, says Sean Gillespie. April said the thing about the head. Don't like any wild animals in the house. Outside, okay. Inside, not so much. Yeah, here's the thing. There was a tiny little snake that got in here maybe when we first moved in, and I noticed one of the windows in the basement was ajarred, was open. And I was like, oh, that's how it got in. So I made sure I closed that, sealed it off a little bit, right? And then to come down and see an even longer one, I'm not kidding. Like maybe I would say between 1.5 feet and 2 feet was the size of this thing, the length of this thing. Yeah, it was. I thought I solved the problem. I did not solve the problem. So anyway, the moving truck's coming tomorrow. No, but yeah, it's a wild thing, man. It's a wild thing. All right, thank you guys in the chat. April, I'll be sure to check the head. We had a snake in our kitchen when we first moved here. Scared the crap out of me. Yeah, I don't doubt it, especially in them parts, especially down south. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right. Let's get to your Philadelphia Phillies. Before all of it, I just want to show you this. This is the earliest I've ever done this for you guys. For the people on the podcast, I'm doing the picture of the standings. The Phillies are 5 games up on the Braves. Now, are the Braves living rent-free in my head? Yes, the Braves are living rent-free in my head. However, my message to you guys on Friday My message to you guys last night after the Locked On Phillies postcast was very simple. Cherish everything. These don't happen. You got to go back to 1993. You got to go back to 1976 for the start to the season that the Phillies are having this year. So I'm cherishing everything. And one of the things I'm going to cherish is right now being 5 games up. 5 games up in the NL East on the Atlanta Braves. Now, why would I care about that when the Phillies are 20 games over 500 and have the best record in baseball, when only one team in all of Major League Baseball has a better run differential than the Philadelphia Phillies, and that's the LA Dodgers? Why would I care? Well, because the Phillies set it out in the beginning of the season not to be the best team in baseball, not to have the best record in baseball. I mean, that's certainly something that you're striving for, no doubt about it, but it wasn't vocalized. It wasn't illustrated for us that that's the Phillies' goal, to be the best team in baseball in 20 games over 500. No, the goal was to win the division, be better than the Braves. That was very simple. Be better than the Braves. And the Phillies have gone out there and they've been better than the Braves this year. They're 5 games better than the Braves. I know it's all going to come down to when they face the Braves again, and there's a lot of season to play, and blah, 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 blah. But as I said, the first 2 months of the season, where the Phillies have been playing like gangbusters, and they've come out like gangbusters, I should say, has been amazing to watch. So I'm going to bask in every second of it. I'm going to enjoy every second of it, because this time last year, we were talking about, they got this big series coming up with the Mets. They can't get over 500. Oh, this team is really struggling. Trey Turner, what are you doing? Kyle Schwarber, when are you going to get hot? Nick Castellanos is actually hitting the ball. Alec Boehm, I thought was going to have more home runs by now. This last year, is Aaron Nola going to figure it out? Last year, these were all the problems we were having. And they're consistent problems that we've had with the Phillies. The slow start on offense, not figuring it out with the rotation. And now you got the best rotation in baseball. You have the best runs per game in baseball. And you have guys like Alec Boehm, Zach Wheeler, Bryson Stott now, Aaron Nola, Bryce Harper, Ranger Suarez. You have the league leader in wins in Ranger Suarez. You have the league leader in RBIs in Alec Boehm. It's a pretty good year. It's a pretty good year. So I'm going to enjoy every second of it. Am I going to look at guys like Nick Castellanos? Hey, 3 hits yesterday. Good job by you. Breaking out of it? Again, fingers crossed. It's like the 5th time this season that we've been like, maybe Nick Castellanos is breaking out of it. Yeah, maybe. But there's plenty still to talk about with this Phillies team. And I know people are talking about trade deadline moves already, which is great. Maybe adding another outfield bat, another arm in the bullpen, all this stuff. I've seen it now speculated. David Murphy had a column yesterday about potentially adding a catcher to this Phillies team, which would probably be the end of Garrett Stubbs, unfortunately. But that's just something that's being talked about. So I'm basking and enjoying every second of this with the Phillies. And most recently, they just completed the sweep of the Washington Nationals. And this is a series that I always refer to as a prove-it series. If you're that much better than the Braves, then you should be that much better than the Washington Nationals. And the Phillies bust out the brooms yesterday to complete the sweep of the Washington Nationals. And they did it with an 11-5 win. Let's just say that on the 11-5. The runs that were scored in the top of the 9th inning, do you guys have no respect for Spencer Turnbull's ERA? What the hell, fellas? But anyway, see, you can still things to criticize. But anyway, a couple of things about yesterday's game. Number one is Cody Clemens. Guy ties it up for you in the bottom of the 9th inning in game 2 of the series against the Nationals. And not only does he tie it up, he's down to the final out of the game. You're about to lose to the Washington Nationals. And Cody Clemens is like, I got you. And Cody Crush blasts that baseball Saturday night deep into the night into center field at Citizens Bank Park. Not only did he hit that home run, not only did he hit it with 2 outs, not only was it the final out of the game, he steps up there, well, could have been the final out of the game. Not only does he do that, he goes up there and hits the hardest ball he's ever hit. 106 miles per hour off the bat. That's the hardest ball he's ever hit in his Major League Baseball career. Good timing, Cody Clemens. Good timing. And then yesterday, he steps up there, and part of that big fifth inning that the Phillies had, if you remember, Winker got the home run off Nola, got the 2-0 sinker up in the zone, and Winker just put a great swing on it. And talk about a ball that was blasted 406 feet to right field. The Nationals went up 3-2 in that fifth inning. And then the bottom of the fifth inning, Schwarber works the one-out walk. Barnes comes into the game. Williams goes out. I thought this was interesting that they were bringing in Barnes at this point, but they brought him in. Williams goes out. He'd only allowed 2 runs to that point. Stott works a walk. Harper gets a single to right field. You got bases loaded, 1 out. Alec Boehm steps up. He hits the line drive, the sharp line drive to right field for the out, but that's rules as a sacrifice fly. Schwarber scores a tie ball game 3-3. Barnes goes out. Garcia comes in. Clemens is up at the plate. Clemens, if you remember, hits that foul ball down the left field line. Winker, who had already made 2 spectacular catches in left field, comes rushing in to make the catch and gets a little wall shy. The wall. The wall's right there. You got to be careful of the wall. It looked like he didn't know the angle. You know, it's a foul ball. You got to go after it. Simple as that. He stops short. The ball bounces maybe 2 feet short of the wall. He's pissed at himself. I see him there yelling at the wall. Thought that was funny. He retreats back, and I had this thought, and I've had this thought for a couple of weeks now. Every time the Phillies get a second chance, every time you give the Phillies another out, they come back and they hurt you. So in that particular situation, that would have retired the side. It only would have been a 3-3 ball game, and that would have been it. However, Winker let the ball drop in foul territory, so Cody Clemens gets another hack. And Cody crushes a baseball into the right field corner. 2 runs end up scoring. A thing of beauty. It goes from a 3-3 game to a 5-3 game, and then Nick Castellanos says, let me get in on this. And then he gets an RBI single for you. It's a 6-3 ball game by the time you close out that fifth inning. Brandon Marsh worked a walk. Garrett Stubbs ended it by striking out, unfortunately, there at the bottom of the fifth. But it goes from a 3-2 ball game in favor of the Nationals to a 6-3 ball game in favor of the Phils, all in that fifth inning. And the best part about it, no snakes. Anyway, so then you keep going there to the 6th inning. Bryce Harper adds a 2-run double, makes it an 8-3 ball game. I figure at this point in the 6th inning, that right there, that is the cherry on top. But then Alec Boehm, of course, had that little prize for you in the bottom of the 8th inning. But Cody Clemens really helped the Phillies jump out in this ball game, and he was fantastic at being able to watch him do that. I love what I'm seeing from him, and I hope he stays up at the major league level, especially if you're talking about a guy that's actually reliable coming off the bench to grab a bat. I mean, think about this issue. Cody Clemens got me thinking about this. Good old Cody Crush got me thinking about this. The Phillies this year, aside from the big name players, if you will, Cody Clemens, Edmundo Sosa, and Christian Pache's even won a game for you this year. Johan Rojas is figuring it out at the plate. Like, this is the supporting cast that you have here. Whit Merrifield has been a disappointment to this point so far this season, but Christian Pache, Edmundo Sosa, and now Cody Clemens helping to win baseball games. This is how you get 20 games over 500, is everybody is contributing. Everyone has this mindset of my turn. And it's what's really amazing is for these not so well-known players, for these guys to have this kind of experience in the first 2 months of the season, what I love about it is that you can look around this clubhouse and see a lot of guys that you could say, all right, they're just going to play some hero ball. Whereas they're going to sit back and let Bryce Harper or Kyle Schwarber, they're going to go back and we're going to let those guys do their thing. But every single guy in this lineup, when given the opportunity to be in the lineup or be in the field, even if it's a defensive replacement in the 9th inning, they find ways to make sure they're helping the team win. The best example of this now is Cody Clemens. The guy right before that was Garrett Stubbs. Garrett Stubbs has had not a great year. We'll call it that. I won't call it getting thrown under the bus by Zach Wheeler, but Zach Wheeler acknowledged, the dip in pitching to Garrett Stubbs as opposed to JT Realmuto, something that I think everyone understands. And it's also understandable to think that you're not going to be on the same page as a catcher that never catches you. And then Garrett Stubbs goes out and he gets an RBI 40 against the Mets. And then he also goes up there and he helps you by catching Aaron Nola's last 2 starts, where Aaron Nola was just incredible. And Aaron Nola yesterday was good. We'll get to him in a second. But also had the complete game shutout 4-hitter against the Mets. And then yesterday, 7 innings, allowing 2 earned runs, 3 runs in total, 2 home runs. But he kept it going for Aaron Nola. Everybody is contributing on this Phillies team, and that's how you get to 20 games over 500. So Cody Clemens, the latest, newer name to tip your cap to. Number 2, Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola yesterday, the knuckle curve is just devastating. I mean, if you have 2 strikes on you, whether it's an 0-2 count or a 3-2 count, that knuckle curve is coming and you're out. That's just to let you know, you're gone. That's the way that works. Yesterday, he had it working for him as well, and he improved to 6-2 on the season. A wide strike zone that got slimmer as the game went on. But Aaron Nola goes out there yesterday, gets the 1-2-3 first inning, a 7-pitch first inning, comes out there in the second inning. He's able to record his first strikeout. That was of Garcia, using none other than the knuckle curve. He walks Senzel. He gets Gallo to fly out to right field or left field, and then Ruiz steps up there. And while he's at the plate, Senzel gets picked off first base by Aaron Nola. Love to see it. Going to that third inning, Stott makes the leap and grab. This is where I was a little concerned about Nola. Third inning, he's at the bottom of the order. He had faced the minimum. Ruiz is up there, and he pulls a shot down the right field line, and I thought it was gone. Castellanos makes the catch on the warning track. Then Winker steps up there and hits the ball in the screws to a leaping Bryson Stott, who got every inch of air his vertical will allow him to get, and snagged that ball out of the sky to catch that line drive. Beautiful play by Bryson Stott. And then Young stepped up there and struck out. The first 2 balls were hit on the screws. Then he strikes out Young on none other than the knuckle curveball. So he had that going for himself. Going to the 4th inning, this is where they got to him a little bit. Abrams grounded out second to start things off. Vargas reached. Bryce Harper, the only knock I have on Bryce Harper at first base now, and I still acknowledge best defensive first baseman since Travis Lee or Rico Bronya. That's where we're at as far as these 2 guys, the best defensive first baseman. But the one thing he does struggle with is limiting the aggression. Realizing that you being out of position means that somebody else has to get to first base. So instead of, in this particular situation, getting the second out of the 4th inning, he dives in front of Cody Clemens instead of booking it to first base. So as the ball hit to the right side of the infield, Bryce Harper dives over instead of retreating to first base, letting Cody Clemens make the play. He springs to his feet, fires to first, and the throw doesn't even allow Aaron Nola to cover first base. So Nola doesn't even make it to first base. He's got to reach back and make the catch on Bryce Harper's throw. Now you got a runner on first. Rosario steps up, and he gets an inside sinker that I still don't know how he got the bat head around on the ball, but he did, and he pulled it down the right field line for a home run. It was a 2-run home run. Now it's a 2-2 ball game. Garcia then flies out to first. Senzel works another walk, and then he gets Gallo to strike out. This one actually on a high fastball, so that was good to see. A little bit of change there for him. Then in the 5th inning, Winker gets the home run off him on a 2-0 sinker. That again stayed up. Both home runs were on sinkers for Aaron Nola. It's a 3-2 ball game. Phillies rally in the 5th, and then the 6th inning, Rosario hits deep fly ball to left field. Marsh makes a great play on it, heading up against the wall. But it was a pretty easy inning other than that. Another strikeout, this one of Garcia again, this one on 3 pitches, and again, the knuckle curve. 7th inning, he starts it off with a walk, so a little nervous. High pitch count. Not terrible, but he's up there in the 7th inning, so you know the complete game is not going to happen for Aaron Nola. But he walks Senzel to start things off. Gallo fouls out to Clemens, who at this point took over, or called off, I should say, Bryce Harper at first base. Enjoyed that, but he recorded the out. Ruiz flies out to center field. Winker grounds back out to, has a comebacker to Aaron Nola, and he has that real slow play to first for the final out of the game for him, of that 7th inning. 101 pitches for Aaron Nola yesterday. Goes 7 innings, allowing 2 earned runs, both coming on home runs, and 3 runs in total, because the first run scored technically was an unearned run, thanks to the error by Bryce Harper. But throughout the game, I never felt like he was losing control. And he got the Phillies to the 7th inning. They have an off day today. You were able to go into the bullpen. Dominguez had a okay outing. Didn't allow a run. I'll take that from him. Allowed a couple of base runners, but I'll take the idea of him not allowing a run. And then the ninth inning, Spencer Turnbull got gotten to, and I don't know how committed to the game the defense was in that top of the ninth inning, but that's the way that shook out. So Cody Clemens, Aaron Nola deserve shout outs. And then finally, Alec Bohm. I've said it enough already, but I'll say it one more time because it just feels so great to say. He leads the league. Excuse me. He leads the majors in RBIs with 42. 5 in yesterday's game. Had a couple of sac flies, and then just had the monster home run off Tanner Rainey in the bottom of the 8th inning. Got a 2-0 fastball and turned on that pitch. I originally thought it made it to the walkway in left field. It made it, I mean, if I had to guesstimate, like 10 rows back, 12 rows back, he just belted it, and he knew it. Second he made contact, dropped the bat, and just enjoyed the home run trot. This is absolutely incredible what we're seeing from this Phillies team this year. Everywhere you look. And to see Nick Castellanos get 3 hits yesterday, Bryce Harper got 3 hits yesterday, a couple already. Bryce Harper, Alec Bohm, Nick Castellanos, all 3 of those guys, at least 2 RBIs in the game yesterday, at least 2 hits. Because I think the Bohm only had the 1 hit. Bohm had the 1 hit. Bohm had the 1 hit. So, yeah. Harper, Clemens, Castellanos, Bohm all had at least 2 RBIs. And Castellanos, Harper, and Clemens at least 2 hits. Not too bad. Good day at the office. And also, I heard this. I think I still have the stat. Man. Kyle Schwarber has walked 7 times in 2 games. The last time a player, this is a player, walked 7 times in 2 games was 1968. I found that a little shocking because we lived through the Barry Bonds thing. And if I heard that correctly yesterday from Tom McCarthy, which I think I did, because I went back and I was like, wait, hold on a second. Because I thought, wait, Barry Bonds? No. 7 times in 2 games, 1968, until Kyle Schwarber did it yesterday. And the day before, obviously, combined. So that's pretty incredible. In total, your Philadelphia Phillies, as I've mentioned, best record in baseball, 5 games up on the Atlanta Braves, who lost yesterday. It wasn't even close, like 7-1 was the final score of yesterday's game for that team. So not ideal for them. Yeah, 9-1. They lost to the Padres yesterday, 9-1. Padres now 500 on the season. But here's the numbers for your Philadelphia Phillies and where they're at. The 34-14 record ties their 1993 start in 48 games in franchise history. So right now, the 2024 Phillies, this is where we get into the history and how much you appreciate what's going on right now. The 2024 Phillies, the 1993 Philadelphia Phillies, and the 1976 Philadelphia Phillies. That's pretty great. That's pretty great. The Phillies are now 20 games over 500. Didn't do that until September 27th of last season. And with the Phillies winning this series in the fashion of a sweep, it's their 6th sweep of the season. They had 7 sweeps in all of last year. How about that? Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all when it comes to your Philadelphia Phillies. They have the off day today. They set up a 3-game series with the reigning champions, the Texas Rangers, starting tomorrow night, 6:40 in South Philadelphia. That's how that one goes. All right, let's get into your Philadelphia Eagles here, ladies and gentlemen. I showed you the pictures before, but I'll get to them in a second. But first, I want to make sure I do this because there's first the good. Let's get to the good. Eagles Autism Foundation, record-breaking 7th Eagles Autism Challenge. $8.1 million raised and counting. 38,000 donors, over 38,000 donors, over 5,600 participants. The Philadelphia Eagles Autism Foundation tweeted out yesterday or 2 days ago Thank you for that support to the community, the Philadelphia Eagles community. It's fan. All the pictures from this look great. The videos of Jason Kelce with his daughter Bennett going up to Swoop. Bennett not really feeling so comfortable, as like all kids are. Like, I don't understand the kids that love mascots, like the little kids that love mascots. Those parents, you guys are so lucky. You guys are so lucky. Lil Toots, when I did the polar bear plunge at the ballpark and the Fanatic was running around. The Fanatic is the reason I'm a sports fan. Like, the earliest memories, like sports memories I have are the Philly Fanatic, and I had a Philly Fanatic pennant. I remember this like above my crib, okay? Because I was in the crib till I was 15. No, I just remember this because of pictures, and I remember before we moved out of our house in Ambler when I was like 4 years old. I remember that pennant coming down. By then, it wasn't a crib anymore; it was a bed. But I remember having that in my room, and it was the Philly Fanatic. It was like a 1983 pennant of the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Fanatic was on it. And I just remember I just loved that image. And when I got older and we moved back to the area and I started going to Phillies games and stuff, I just always loved the Philly Fanatic. So if parents, you guys have a secret about, 1, snake removal, 2, getting your kids adjusted to mascots, I'd love to hear it. But Bennett Kelce really wanted to see Swoop, then didn't want to see Swoop, then Swoop gave a present, and then things were kind of cool after that. But that was pretty awesome at the Eagles Autism Challenge yesterday or 2 days ago. And then seeing Nick Sirianni walk with everybody and then an adoring fan, be able to get a picture and an autograph with them, that was great. Look, of all the criticism you could have to a player, to a coach, whatever, seeing them take that kind of time to be with the fan base, that's a beautiful thing. And that's something I greatly appreciate and greatly respect. And the Eagles doing what they're doing for autism is amazing. So I absolutely love that. So great to see all that. That was the good. Now, for the young kids that might be watching, this isn't going to be good for you. This is bad. Don't do this. I don't like this. What was this? Okay. Did you see this? Let's get to this first. This is Darius Slay saying, damn, what happened today? My mentions going crazy. Huh. Why were his mentions going crazy? Well, because of this. So Terry Lynn's, I guess. Terry S68, I guess, was getting a tour of the locker room at the NovaCare complex and gave the finger to Darius Slay's locker. All right, that's Lincoln Financial Field. And she gave the finger to Darius Slay's locker. I don't like that. No, I'm not telling anybody how to act or how to be, but I'm just going to tell you, I don't like it. The doors are open for a beautiful reason. Helping out a charity, helping out the Eagles charity, raising money to combat autism. And you take that opportunity to flip the bird to a player, no pun intended. Like that, I don't like it. And Darius Slay, that's why your mentions were blowing up. Now, I will say that Terry was she was taking some heat for some people. She was posting, man. I'll tell you, if you want to see the full thread, you can go ahead and check out Terry Lynn's if you'd like. Terry S68 at TERIS68. You can check it out. She posted a lot of the DMs of people disapproving and people being personal. People being personal. That wasn't nice either. 2 wrongs, in my opinion, do not make a right. But she stands by what she did. She stands by what she did. I find it a little off-putting. Speaking of being off-putting, Jordan Davis lost a light. Whoop, wrong picture. Once again, I showed this earlier, but here is one more time. Jordan Davis has really, really slimmed down. And for me, and I know everybody else, one of the things you're concerned about this season when you think about this defensive line, number 1 is, well, okay, without Fletcher Cox, how are they going to do without Fletcher Cox? And then number 2 is Jordan Davis ready to step up. I think a lot of us have an extreme amount of confidence in Jalen Carter having himself a great sophomore season, if you will, in the NFL. I know I do. The other thing is, can Jordan Davis keep it up for a 17-game schedule and not at the week 13, week 14 mark be, all right, I'm pretty done. I'm pretty tapped out. Nothing left in the tank. And he comes in looking like that. All right, fella, go out there and do your thing. Go out there. Show everyone that you can play past week 14 into week 15, 16, 17, 18. Show that you can go out there and handle your business. Because that's been the number one knock on him, unfortunately. Now, we'll see the balance of, if he loses strength with the weight loss, whatever. But the man looks like he's ready to go out there and play some football and play for the long haul. I mentioned looking at E.J. Smith's depth chart. I mean, your top 3 defensive tackles are as expected. You're looking at Jalen Carter, you're looking at Jordan Davis, and then you're looking at Milton Williams. Those are 1, 2, 3 punches right there for your Eagles. On the defensive end or edge rusher category, you're going to have Josh Sweat, you're going to have Bryce Huff, you're going to have Jalix Hunt out there on the prowl, and of course Brandon Graham. After that, a bit of a drop-off. Then you look at the linebacker position. Right now, he's got, as you would expect, he's got Devin White, and he's got our man Nakobe Dean. After that, a bit of a drop-off. Jeremiah Trotter, obviously, maybe he emerges, but he's number 2 right now on that depth chart, behind those 2 linebackers, interior linebackers. Look at the cornerback position. He still has James Bradbury being here, but this is where it gets juicy. This is where the spicy meatballs come in. On the depth chart from E.J. Smith of Inquirer.com, your starting cornerbacks are Darius Slay and Quentin Mitchell. How about that? Down on the depth chart a wee bit, number 3 is James Bradbury as an outside corner, then Cooper DeJean on the outside corner position. Inside, you still have Vontae Maddox. You have Eli Ricks. You have Keely Ringo, also for back outside corner roles as well. In the safety position, he had Cooper DeJean as a 4th safety. So deep down the depth chart, no doubt. But does highlight that Cooper DeJean is a guy to watch for a potential safety replacement, whether it's CD Deuce, whether it's Blankenship, whoever. Injury happens, one of the first corners they could be looking at to say, all right, why don't you go back there and play, could very likely be Cooper DeJean, which I do find very interesting because his versatility is what makes me think of him more as a safety in what could be a very crowded cornerback position group this year, at least for the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe his future is at corner and he stays at corner. But when you talk about the versatility that he has, he does lend himself to being more of a, I'll use this word even though I don't like it, hybrid. That's what E.J. Smith used in the story. Generally speaking, hybrid. That I understand. He's versatile. So you could be looking at a safety this year as well for Cooper DeJean. But that's the way the depth chart shook out as far as the defensive side of the football went for the Eagles, according to E.J. Smith, Inquirer.com. Great piece. Worth your read. Hey, you know what else is worth a read? The Gametime app. Download the Gametime app to your phone. Have yourself an amazing time with the Gametime app. Download the Gametime app. Use promo code Farzy. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase. So you want to go to one of these Phillies games against the Rangers? Gametime app. Download the app to your phone. Use promo code Farzy and get $20 off your first purchase. They also have last-minute ticket deals, flash ticket deals. They even have ticket deals for an hour after the event starts. So if you're going to a concert or a comedy show, you might miss the opening act, you might miss the middle, but you see the headliner at a great discounted rate as well. All that on the Gametime app. So download the app to your phone. Use promo code Farzy when you create an account and get $20 off your first purchase. They also, this is fantastic. You get a panoramic view of your seat before you buy it, so you know exactly what you're getting and where you're getting it at the Gametime app. Download the Gametime app. Use promo code Farzy. Get $20 off your first purchase. How about MyBookie? MyBookie.ag. Phillies, hot start. Want to get some action on the Phillies? Gametime app is where it's at. MyBookie app is where it's at. So download the MyBookie app and use promo code Farzy. You get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Bet on the Phils. Bet on the NBA Conference Finals. You can do that. on MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Also, if betting on sports isn't your thing, expand your horizons. So you can bet on the world of television. You could bet on the world of politics. And MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Use promo code Farzy, get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. How about the incredible people at PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's phlsportsnation.com. Let's get into the chat check and see how you guys are doing on this fine Monday morning. Off next Monday, by the way. Off next Monday, by the way, for Memorial Day, so we can all have some fun right there. James Alexander, good morning. Phillies, hottest team in the city. Hell yeah. IBH, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sean Gillespie. Good morning, Sean Kilrain. IBH, Phillies win, Braves lose. Knicks eliminated. What a beautiful day. Thank you, Buddy Christ. Buddy Christ, good morning, beautiful people. Yeah, well, Buddy Christ, I thought this was funny. I don't really go back and watch the show. Sometimes I'll listen to the podcast. No, but I was flipping around on the old YouTube, and I saw the thing with the thing, and I saw there was a freeze frame of me. I was like, oh, that's the show, and it was your comment up there, and I just thought I was like, I really hope my mom sees this. I hope my mom stumbles upon it the way I stumbled upon it. But it is great. It is great. Dynasty 215, what's going on? I don't know if this is true. But just read this is the first time in Major League Baseball history that a team has played 700 baseball this far into the season. Where'd you see it? I that's news to me. Let's see where they first place I'll look is usually ESPN, bottom of the story. We'll have the fun facts every once in a while. Let's go here. Phillies. Because if that's the case, that's pretty incredible. Phillies 700. Hopefully the 700 level doesn't come up. And that's not it for no opening. No. Wow. Holy pots and pans. A tweet from Jake Tapper. Excuse me. He comes up. Yeah. All right. If that's the case, that's awesome. That's pretty incredible. Cody Clemens doing big things while he's back, while he's here back-to-back days. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. I mean, think about this again. The Phillies in pinch hits haven't been a thing this year other than Cody Clemens. That's pretty remarkable. I want to say, does Schwarber have one? If the Phillies have one, it's at most 2. But I know what happened in the last couple days. And I want to say it was Cody Clemens. Here's my snake information. Thank you, Sean Gillespie. Thank you, April, once again. Oh, wait, hold on. IBH. Did you read Ricky Tikki Tavi as a kid? Or maybe as an adult? I don't know. But Ricky Tikki Tavi, he was a mongoose, and he would take care of the snakes. That's probably another reason why I'm terrified of snakes, or was at least till I had to deal with them. Indiana Jones. Why did it have to be snakes? I hate snakes. And Ricky Tikki Tavi, where the mongoose got the snakes. Because the snakes, what were the snakes going after in Ricky Tikki Tavi? I don't remember. Anybody else getting this? No? I'll remember later. It's what I'll lead the show with tomorrow. But yeah, mongoose is a good idea. Definitely cherish the Phil's streak early in the season. Cody Clemens needs to be everyday starter. I won't go that far, Daz. I'm not going to go that far. I want to keep him at the major league level as of right now. Ooh, Daz. Morning Farzy with the PH. Thank you. Cody Clemens reminds me of a young Dustin Pedroia. Wow. Yeah, I can see it. I can totally see it. Good morning, Mark. Good folks. Happy. Hey, what's going on, Mike Fuji? Fighting's are red hot. Has Cody Clemens ever played the outfield? Phillies need to figure out how to find a place for him. I know he has in college. I feel like he has at the major league level. I know they used him a lot at first base last year. I know. Was he in left field the other day? I feel like he was a late replacement in left field, and it was kind of comical because he doesn't have a lot of experience out there. Beepo Bop. Yeah, not a lot. He has, let's see. He has, I think, I want to make sure this is right before I just throw it out there. Cody Clemens has more appearances in a game as a pitcher than he does as an outfielder. And he appeared in a game in the outfield last year. So there you go. Cody Clutch Clemens continues to produce. He had 2 doubles today, knocking in 2 runs, 3 RBIs in the Phillies sweep. Now about 321 on the year. 321 with, I think, like a 345 on base percentage. That's pretty damn good. More Bay. Nice to see you. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to go any further with that. Jeff, what's going on? 3 of the 4 lower seeds win in the second round of the playoffs. Everyone is high on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, everyone's really high on Anthony Edwards right now. Ant-Man, and rightfully so. All that yesterday. The Pacers just destroying the Knicks. Destroying the Knicks. A record high field goal and 3-point percentage in the first half for the Pacers. Destroy the Knicks. Jalen Brunson misses, I think, all of the fourth quarter with the hand injury. Dante DiVincenzo, what did he finish with? 39? Yeah, credit to the Pacers. Pascal Siakam, Tyrese Halliburton. I saw somebody in our fandom, our fan group, our fan base, tweet something about Tyrese Halliburton not taking over a game. And then in the last 3 games of the series, he's taken over. And it's been pretty wild to watch. Going so well, they actually pitched to Harper with 2 on and first base open. Sack fly followed. Yeah. How about that? The first month of the season, it seemed like every single time the Phillies had Bryce Harper walked to go to JT Realmuto, or then later Alec Boehm, home run, big hit, something happened. So, yeah, you got to pitch to Harper now. April, this is very nice. April, every year I am so thankful for all the Eagles Autism Foundation does. My kid is on the spectrum, and seeing how much the Eagles are doing makes me love them even more. April, that is beautiful. How great is that? Sean Keller, I remember having those pennants as well in the 80s. Eagles as well, Phillies, and the Phillies, Farzy. Those pennants are great. My brother has the pennant now, which is bull, because that pennant was above my crib and my bed first. And then when we lived in Rochester, New York for 3 years, which was preschool and both my years of kindergarten, that was still in my room. So I call bull on my brother for that. The answer? You really got to know the Farzy show to get that reference. Boehm is going so well. They actually pitched to Harper with 2. Yep, there you go. Oh, did I already hit that? Miss Kuzi. Wow, that's a great name. BMO Care. Shouldn't be using this when you don't know the story behind it. I'll look up more of the story behind it if that's a reference to the lady in the middle finger. Oh, a troublemaker. That's not good. April, glad real face roasted her, not the time or the place. I agree. Daz says the same thing. Tim M says the same thing. Wait. Tim M, she's a troublemaker. The algorithm always has her account pop up on my Twitter. Had to mute. There you go, Daz. Davis looking damn good. Looks slimmed up. Jordan Davis be even able to play starving? That's funny. Jordan Davis took Hungry Dogs a little too literally. Oh, here we go. What's up, Doctor? Johnny G, what's going on? My number 1 and number 2 are the Flyers, then Eagles, then the Phillies. Not the biggest baseball fan in general. However, I haven't been this excited for the Phillies since 08-09. Yeah, those were some fun years. Wait. Hold on. Mongooses can handle a cobra. They were cobras in Ricky Tikki Tavi, no? That was a vicious book that I look back on, and especially if I think Ricky Tikki Tavi was protecting a baby. I think Ricky Tikki Tavi was protecting a baby. I can't be sure. But those are the kind of books I grew up on in the 80s. Maybe that's why I repeated kindergarten, because those are the books I was focusing on and not getting my doctorate. Daz, put him in left field, move Marsh back to center, and bench Pache. All right. Adam, what's going on? Good morning. Kechanowski. Yakshimash. Can't do worse than Schwarber. Sean Kilwright, see you later, Farzy on the Sully squad. Thanks for hopping on. Yeah. Hey, what time are we doing the show, guys? Hold on. I think I just got the thing with the thing. I think I just got the link because I'm going to be on with our Sully squad guys. What time are we doing the show? Is it 6 or 8? Oh, Ferdinand the Bull. Ah, my son loves that. He loves that movie. Oh, 627. Okay. Sean Gillespie saw the cartoon as a kid. Ricky was a beast. Ricky ain't taking no guff from no snakes. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful, as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush, brought to you by Sky Motorcars. SkyMotorcars.com. There we go. All right, Phillies have the off day today. They'll be back at it tomorrow, 6:40 start time. Against the Texas Rangers. Phillies are opening up a 3-game series with the reigning world champions that have fallen on a little bit of a hard time as of late. They are an even 24-24 on the season. John Gray they'll send to the hill to take on Ranger Suarez. That's right, Ranger on the Rangers. John Gray, oh, God forbid. Ranger against the Rangers. John Gray 2-1 with a 2.08 ERA. Ranger Suarez 8-0 with a 1.37 ERA on the season. As for your NBA playoffs, oh my goodness gracious. So the Pacers, as I said, annihilated the New York Knicks 130-109. Dante DiVincenzo did have 39 points in the loss. Tyrese Halliburton dropped in 26 points. And if I remember correctly, 6 of 11 from beyond the arc, 6 of 12 from beyond the arc with his 26 points. 3 Pacers had 20 points. Halliburton, Nembhard, and Siakam. Pascal Siakam with 20. Damn, son. They shot 54% from beyond the arc to the New York Knicks 37%. Wow. That's something. So now the Indiana Pacers will face the Boston Celtics. This is the first time these two teams have met in anything other than the first round of the playoffs. So that's interesting. Pacers 47-35 on the year, and now they'll go and take on the Boston Celtics. As for the Western Conference, absolutely amazing. The Minnesota Timberwolves last night came roaring back to win this game 7, 98-90. They won the fourth quarter by 9 points. They won the third quarter by 14 points. They just kept on rolling in that second half. They had a 20-point deficit in total. 20 point. Largest comeback. That's pretty incredible. And yeah, they were awesome. Jamal Murray had 35 points in that game. So that's what you got. Game 7 goes to the Timberwolves on the road in Denver. Not too shabby. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. And also, tomorrow night, after the Phillies, postcast with yours truly on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel as well while we're bringing your Phillies postcast needs. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. Snake-free environment, I hope. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.